Hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Ascended Masters. Our soul sister you're looking at is my dear soul sister, which we're all very, very proud of, SHERRI DIVBAND. She is the founder of Intuitive Wellness Center and Aramis Creative Learning. So she's come a long way. But let me tell you, this is amazing. When you get to connect with SHERRI, and all of her links will be in the description below, you'll see her ability and how one actually manifests what they're divinely blessed to do. So SHERRI's a great example of that. So SHERRI, it's good to see you. Welcome. How are you?
It's so nice to see you. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, of course. And I wanted to bring you on. You have got a couple of centers here, and I know when we met, you were on our show, Spiritually Raw,
Mhm.
several times there. And fast forwarding here, you talked about doing these learning centers. You actually got them into existence. We're looking at a couple scrolling right now. Everybody, Intuitive Wellness Center. That's for adults. I'll have SHERRI explain that to you. And Aramis Creative Learning is for kids. SHERRI, can you break down those differences between the two sites that we're seeing scroll right now?
Yes, absolutely. So Intuitive Wellness Center is my first baby, my first wellness center that I created almost 10 years ago. And that's when I really focused on adults and spiritual and soul level healing. We're using quantum energy, hypnotherapy, access bars, tapping into soul and soul families, galactic families, all of that. And when I started in my career, I started working with children about 5 years ago, and I really became passionate about working with children. And so I had the idea, which is a long story, and I think a lot of people already know the story, so I won't go into it. But my daughter came into my life before I was pregnant with her. She said, "Hey, I'm coming in. I'm going to be your daughter, and we're going to do something really big together. And I need your help because this is something that I will do later in life, and I need you to start it for me." So, Aramis Creative Learning Center started out as a spiritual endeavor where I went on your show about a year ago, and I announced to the world, I said, "I've had this idea for a few years now, and I'm being guided that now's the time to launch it." And it was called Divinely Guided Children a year ago because it was meant to be a spiritual center for children in my area. I live in Bethesda, Maryland right now. And so I incorporated the children's classes into the current wellness center that I already had, with the vision of expanding and creating a nice, large wellness retreat center for children in my area where they could learn all of these what I refer to as spiritual beginnings classes and things like that. And it just transformed so beautifully since I went on your show and others. There was such a wide range of interest. I mean, parents and teachers and supporters all over the world reached out to me in a very abundant way, and I was just overwhelmed with such positive feedback. And it slowly morphed over time into more of a curriculum learning based structure, because I saw the demand where people were so frustrated with their school. And I work a lot with starseed children, and what it is that what they need, they're not being accommodated in the current structure. So I said, you know what, we're going all in, and we're going to create physical alternative schooling for children. And so my daughter, her name is Aramis, and since she's the one that came, this is her project, this is her vision. I realized I had that epiphany that this was what she was talking about, and she is a teacher to the core. I mean, she has a classroom in her room. She teaches every day her lesson plans to her class of 20. She tells me there's 20
Okay.
children in
Wow.
there. And she is a passion. She's more passionate about teaching at 7 years old than most adult teachers. It's incredible. She is just, so Aramis Creative Learning Center is named after her. And our vision is to have learning centers in every state and to be an alternative to like a public school education system. And so that's the difference between those two.
Will this have the ability at some point in time, or is this even on the radar for the school as far as like maybe, like you said, an alternative for the public school system? Would this be where they would actually be like accredited? I don't know if I'm using the right terms there, but it could be accredited and they would actually get like, their graduations or whatever they need to move along.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, absolutely. The intention is that this will be around nationally and internationally, as an opportunity for children to go all the way from kindergarten level all the way through university level into trade school programs that I intend on launching with partnerships with different organizations that are around probably in the next 5 years once we get to that phase. And this will be a full educational experience that children will be able to get their education through our schools, because the paradigm of the education system, just like everything else, is crumbling.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many clients I have where their children are actually demanding and telling their parents, I don't want to go to school anymore, I'm not learning anything. They're here, they're the pioneers, they're the way showers, they're the ones that are here to say that there's a problem and then there's a need. And there are a lot of teachers out there that are feeling the same way. Most teachers become teachers because they want to help children and they want to help them evolve, and they have all these brilliant ideas, and then they get into the system and they realize, oh wow, I can't do any of this, and I have to follow these protocols and have to stay within these guidelines, and a lot of the teachers are fed up and leaving, just like a lot of other areas of the world, with nursing and doctors leaving their practices, and politicians saying, I'm getting out of this, because every facet of our world is shifting. That's what the ascension is about. So when I work with adults, then that's what I've been doing for the last, more than a decade. I mean, for 20 years of my life, I've been a teacher. I've always been a teacher, just like Aramis, I guess in some silly way. I never thought about it before, but I have always strived to teach people. I wanted to always help people, no matter what it was for, whether I was in school and teaching other kids my age, different things that perhaps I understood more clearly. And then, I always taught. In every job I've ever done, I've become some level of a trainer. And so it's definitely within me as well. And so when I work with clients, I'm very unique. My vision for clients when I work with them one-on-one is to help empower them, because I believe everybody can do what I can do. They don't need me necessarily, but some people just need to be shown how. And so the clients that I work with, I after 1 or 2 sessions, like I set them up in a way that they don't necessarily need to come back, because it's all about, this ascension is all about tapping into our innate wisdom. And the adults are the ones struggling with that, and the children come in with it. So the children need to be provided an environment to cultivate what they already have, to expand on, to understand what they already know, what they already see, or what they already feel, because they are tapping in to a higher consciousness already, even as young ones. And it's life. And we all come in with that. And then life, whether it's our parents or the school systems or life in general, shifts us, and we conform, a lot of us, to programming of this third dimensional reality, and we start to change and we lose that part of us. And that's why there's so many adults that are going through spiritual awakenings, because they saw videos, they saw an interview on Jay and April show, they saw this, they read a book, somebody said something to them that made them think differently, broke them out of the programming, and then they started to think for themselves. And so I help guide adults to do that, tapping into their innate intuitive wisdom and how to do that, how to disconnect from limiting beliefs, the programming, understanding your emotions, and how that truly drives your wellness, and how your mind controls the body. And we have more control than we recognize. And so that's really, what I do is 2 very different things. One, helping adults and empowering them to tap in and recreate and connect to their higher wisdom. And with children, it's like, okay, they already have it, so let's help them not lose it. And so it's kind of like 2 different pathways, but they're both equally important to me, because both are needed right now more than ever before.
I'm looking, as I'm watching the scrolling of your sites coming through, all I can think about, and I know April said this when you were on the show with her a little while ago, this would have been incredible having something like this when we were growing up. You know what I mean? Just to have that different thought process, because, we watch and we take a look at things, and it's really sad. It's like, the kids today in the system that they have, unless they have, whatever resources, and not, a lot of times that doesn't always work out, is they're just trained to be mediocre. You know what I mean? It's just, it seems to be the standard, and really just like not bringing out the best. It's like just flush them through the system, right? And and to have something like this where, and I think it's a parent too, is like, to take a look at something like this for your child and be like, do you want to have you know what's going on. You know what I mean? People know that they're watching. They know what's going on to the school system. They hear from, whether they say something or don't, but they know what's going on. You know what I mean? And to have something like this that could really give your child a competitive edge in the world that they're about to take over from the rest of us, that's great, Sherri. I tell you, I can't tell you how proud we are of you for stepping up and really, I mean, you have really been, again, you've been pretty cool to watch you manifest this out over the last couple of years.
Yeah. And it was your show, Jay, and you and April that I went on last December, 2 Decembers ago, where we announced this. And it was on your platform that I told the world about it. And the world answered in such a big, magnificent way. I was telling April the other day on with Salini how much I want to thank you guys, because I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. I just wanted to tell you about what a cool project I was doing. And the next thing you know, the universe was like, oh, no, this is not a cool project. This is something really big. And it just exploded. And, in the last year, I have done so many things. We have a cartoon series that has 11. We're in the process of making the 11th animated children's videos. And they're super widely popular. I mean, I have a lot of, elderly that say, I'm 90 years old and I love your cartoons. Right. It's an opportunity for children to get exposed to these things that they should be learning in school, just to let them hear about certain things that may be taboo. So it's a great opportunity for them to learn now. We have I have 2 children's books that are out based on the Divinely Guided Children's animation videos. We just started a nonprofit called the Aramis Collective. And the nonprofit is meant to, it has 3 divisions. I call it a trinity. We have the Aramis Creative Learning Centers that will be they're physical locations that will be all over the world, that we are manifesting the donations for that right now through the nonprofit to help get the first location open.
That's the Aramis Collective, right? That's where people can contribute right through their share.
The Aramis Collective is the nonprofit that we have set up where people can donate to help us manifest this physical location sooner. And Florida will be the first location. So we're really excited about that. We also have Sky Universal within the Aramis Collective, which is our virtual reality platform that we are also raising funds for. So children can have such a wide variety of opportunities and experiences in a virtual reality world, taking them into space, going under the sea, going into field trips all over the world where they may not have ever been able to go, but in a very immersive 3-dimensional experience. And then we also have our media division, which we call Jordan Media and Publications. And that's all of our animated videos, documentaries, which will be starting soon, and our children's books. So the Aramis Collective is expansive, and the mission really for the Aramis Collective is to put our children first, to prioritize the next generation, to set a platform up of success so that the future generations come in and it's already established, it's already to go. This is for everyone's children, not just mine, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, the children of the world, because they're the future. This is why else would we be doing any of this, Jay? What's the point of the Ascended Masters and all of these amazing healers and light workers out there to set this up for the children? Because they're the ones that are going to remain here and bring on the next future generations.
Yeah. I tell you, I can't even thank you enough for your service, just from so many different levels. So, okay, so the aramiscollective.com, that's where people can contribute. So what about those watching right now who'd say maybe they'd like to contribute also time, maybe as a teacher? Are those opportunities available for people at this juncture? Or what about those, and how would they even reach out to you for that?
Good question. Yes, we just actually did our first round of recruitments for teachers. So I have partners in Australia, Carly and Julia, who are helping me with the Australian division. And we just hired 5 teachers to start Zoom virtual classes in Australia. Right. And I am hiring teachers right now, but we just closed the window for the first round. I mean, we received over 100 applications. It was unbelievable. And they were all incredible people. And I wish I could hire all of them. But we're doing this in phases. So for right now, we have all the teachers we need right now. But we'll announce through the Aramis Collective, also Aramis Creative Learning Center website, when we are going to open it up to bring on more volunteers, teachers.
And then when you do that, when you're ready to open up, come back on, Sherry, so we can do another announcement here and let everybody know, and what you're looking for, how else we can support you and everything.
Yes.
Everybody, so you're seeing Sherry's websites there, so check them out. You see the two scrolling, thearamuscollective.com. Again, give what your spirit decides on that one. Really see what you can do to help these kids out. Okay, she's definitely leading the charge on this, and we look forward to seeing these, physical centers. And hey, pretty cool Florida. That's good start right there. I'm biased, but so what, right? But Sherry, thanks a lot. Much love for you, and thank you for your service on this. We really do appreciate the dedication. And again, wish you much love and success on this. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us as you always do, and we'll see you all next time. All right, thank you.
Bye everybody. Thank you.